Today we're going to talk about the verb estar with emotions, conditions, and the present progressive. You learned in chapter 2 that we have two verbs to be, ser and estar. Both of these verbs have specific uses in Spanish, they're not interchangeable. The conjugations for estar are yo estoy, tú estás, él, ella, usted está, nosotros estamos, ellos están. Notice the accent marks. Estar is used with adjectives to talk about certain emotional and physical conditions. These are conditions that are likely to change, or it's probable that they will change. For example, el cuarto está sucio, dirty. This is seen as a condition that is likely to change. It might change if the person decides to clean the room. But it's not seen as something essential of this room. It's just a condition that it's currently in. If we're talking about a door being closed or being open, this is also seen as a condition of the door. So for this, we're also going to use estar. La puerta está abierta, open. La puerta está cerrada, closed. Estar is also used to talk about how people feel mentally and physically. In other words, to talk about moods and conditions that are also likely to change, as opposed to what they look like or what their personalities are. Moods are seen as sporadic, changeable, and interruptible, so we use estar. Moods are seen as sporadic, changeable, and interruptible, so we use estar. For example, a condition again. Está sucio, está limpio. Both clean and dirty are seen as conditions because both tend to change. Emotions with estar, or moods. Estoy contento or contenta. Pay attention. Remember those adjectives that end in O or OR can change gender. Estoy contento, contenta, estoy triste. Estamos cansados, tired. Ella está ocupada, busy. Tú estás nerviosa, tú estás nervioso. Tú estás preocupada, preoccupied, worried. Tú estás preocupado. Los estudiantes están aburridos, bored. Estoy enfermo or estoy enferma. Estoy enojado or enojada. In your textbook, you have further adjectives that we use with estar. You can find them on page 164. Los estudiantes están nerviosos antes del examen, pero cuando llegan las vacaciones, los estudiantes están contentos. Marta es estudiante de BMCC. Hoy Marta está preocupada porque tiene 2 exámenes finales en el mismo día. Manuel no está preocupado, pero está muy ocupado. Tiene que escribir un ensayo de 10 páginas para la clase de literatura. Luisa no viene a clases hoy porque está enferma. Tiene gripe y está aburrida porque no hace nada en su casa. La profesora está enojada porque los estudiantes no hacen la tarea. Es noviembre y todos estamos cansados porque hay mucho trabajo. Now on your notebook, answer the following questions. Contesta en tu cuaderno. ¿Por qué están nerviosos los estudiantes? ¿Por qué está preocupada Marta? ¿Por qué está ocupado Manuel? ¿Por qué no viene a clases Luisa? ¿Por qué está aburrida? ¿Por qué está enojada la profesora? ¿Y tú, estás cansado o cansada? We also use the verb estar in a construction called present progressive. Present progressive, also called present continuous in English, is a tense used to talk about an action that is in progress, present progressive. In English, the present progressive is formed using the verb to be plus another verb and ing. Can you think of an example of present progressive in English? For example, I am eating, you are reading, he is working. Please notice that we have two verbs here being used. We have the verb to be, and then we have the second verb with the ing attached at the end. This second verb with the ing is called a gerund. In Spanish, the present progressive is formed as follows. The first step is to conjugate the verb estar, to be, to the subject. The second step is to get rid of the ending of the second verb. If the verb is an AR verb, the second verb is an AR verb, you're going to put attach at the end ANDO, ando. If the verb is an ER-IR verb, then you get rid of the ending and you attach at the end IENDO, yendo. For example, yo estoy. The second verb is the verb hablar. We get rid of the ending, AR, we're left with the stem, and then we attach ando. Yo estoy hablando. If we were to conjugate all of these to two, how would that look like? We will just conjugate the verb estar for tú, and we leave the gerund the exact same way. We don't have to change it. The conjugation already tells me who's doing the action. Tú estás hablando. Tatiana está. The second verb is comer. It's an ER verb. We get rid of the ending, and then we attach the gerund for ER-IR verbs, which is yendo. Tatiana está comiendo. Nosotros estamos comiendo. What changed here? Only the subject and the conjugation for estar. The gerund stays the same. Usted está. The second verb is vivir, is an IR verb, so we get rid of the ending and attach the gerund that corresponds to ER-IR verbs, which is yendo. Usted está viviendo. Ellos están viviendo. ¿Qué está haciendo Kiko? Está hablando por teléfono. Notice the verb to be and ANDO. ¿Qué está haciendo Beyoncé? Beyoncé está bailando. ¿Qué está haciendo Cecilia? Cecilia está bebiendo. The following verbs have irregular gerunds. The verb leer, traer, and ir have corresponding irregular gerunds like this, leyendo, trayendo, and yendo. The reason why is because in Spanish we can't have three soft vowels together. So that middle I becomes a Y to break it into syllables. Leyendo. The same thing happens for trayendo and yendo. For example, tú estás leyendo una novela de misterio. Ellos están trayendo comida del restaurante. Estoy yendo a la universidad. ¿Qué está haciendo Manuel? Manuel está leyendo. In your notebook, figure out how these sentences in the simple present will change to the present progressive. Remember, the present progressive has two parts, the verb to be and ando for AR verbs or yendo for ER-IR verbs. Pause the video now. With the present progressive, we have to use estar. Remember that. Juan está estudiando. Yo estoy mirando la tele. Tú estás escuchando la radio. Yo estoy haciendo la tarea. Usted está comprando comida. Lorena está aprendiendo español. Make sure to take notes and prepare for a quiz on present progressive. See you soon.